Integrating little baby orphans into a troop is one thing, but when it comes to adult males, it's something completely different. So this episode, we're introducing Jinx into the H&B enclosure. You're going to see a lot of dominance action and a lot of submissive action. So it's a very interesting episode to look at monkey behavior, see how they interact and how they behave. So we really hope you enjoy this episode. There are probably going to be one or two follow-ups because Jinx took a little bit of a while to be introduced. But in the process at the foundation, everything is up to the monkey, nothing is forced, and it all depends on them. Please enjoy.
So I'm walking down to H&B enclosure, which is where most of our integrations are lined up. Pretty exciting day. We're going to start Jinx's integration today. So he moved here last year, end of last year, and he's been getting used to the troop through the fence. So today is the first day where he gets to meet some of the troop face to face. So we're going to open up and let some of them in. So it's the very first shift is this integration. He's an adult male, and I think he's fairly calm. He's fairly good natured. So we're hoping that this actually might be a quick integration, and hopefully it's just a matter of letting him meet all the monkeys over the next few weeks. If he's going really well, we can just hopefully let him out pretty quick. But it's still mating season. The males are still fighting, so we've got to be a little careful about that. It's maybe going to last another few weeks. Obviously not a good time to put a new male out into an enclosure, but it's not a bad time to start, so we can allow some of the females to come in. So we can pick and choose who we let in, and now obviously we're going to start very slowly with some of the nicer monkeys. So I'm just going past the Samango enclosure here. We've got Z here, and there's little Satchmo. And then Mango here as well. So I don't want to hang about here too long. Satchmo's been doing really well. We've tried to minimize people down here. So down at the Samango enclosure on the other side of me is Volunteer Village. And down at the side, down near the front of the sanctuary, we have H&B troop. So Jinx is in one of these cages, he's in the middle cage. So let's see. Got Jason already here. And there's John.
How are you?
Here we go. Ready to go. So we just opened the doors are always wired shut at the fence side. So as you can see, they're already waiting. I think they know.
Yeah.
I think they know.
Alpha and the daughter of the alpha.
So we've got Hocus, Luxie and Millie, the alpha family. And so we always have to let the alpha in first usually. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So you all observed the female rubbing herself up and down on the tree. We're not too sure if this is territorial marking of an area. It hasn't actually been proven yet. There doesn't seem to be any scent glands or anything that would leave some kind of smell, but we could be completely wrong. But a couple of females do this now and again in some of their enclosures.
So this is Jinx, the monkey we're integrating into the Holton Barrington enclosure. He's having a nice quiet day today. This is Pedro, one of the orphans. Pedro, an orphan from 2005. Actually one of the first orphans I ever worked with as a volunteer. And off he goes. His mum was shot by a farmer, but he's now doing just great in this amazing Holton Barrington enclosure. can see Tandy there in the corner, and Victoria. There's Victoria in front, Jinx behind, Tandy on the right. It's quite warm today, so they're having a bit of a chilled out day on the integrations. Victoria and Tandy still grooming. And Jinx sat minding his own business whilst the males are outside. So this is Tandy, also an orphan from 2005. She's grooming Victoria. Victoria is one of our older ladies in the Halton Barrington group. Victoria's always very curious about everything, including the electric fence. Snow White in Halton Barrington enclosure has caught herself a nice crispy grasshopper. Now she's eating her sunflower seeds. This is Pedro in Halton Barrington enclosure eating his seeds. Been here as an orphan since 2005. Lives very happily in this troop. He's just come up to the fence, keeping an eye on Jinx. So Jinx has lived alongside Skunky Troop for a long time. He's about 13 years old now. And it was time he got to go into a large enclosure. He's always been in small enclosures with other monkeys, but this is a very nice enclosure for him to move to. Snow White and Tandy, his old friends, are already in there, and we hope that he can join them as well into this beautiful enclosure, which is going to be far more natural for him than where he was living before. He's just looking out into the enclosure now. Here's Harmony, one of our most recent introductions to the H&B enclosure. And there's Yoshi, who was one of the first males to go in with the group of 7. They're very lucky actually because they've still got some green grass, which not many of the enclosures have now. Now that we're in July, it's winter here. So this is the time of year where we have to give extra food to the monkeys, being winter, because they don't have so much vegetation in their enclosures. It becomes very, very dry here. And we're busy doing the fire breaks at the moment. And then here's Percy. So Percy's part of the lower ranked monkeys in this troop, and she's Priscilla's daughter. She can often redirect aggression, especially during integration, so we have to be careful who we let her in with if there's females. And say hello to Tandy. Tandy used to live with Jinx, and Snow White also lived with Jinx, so he already got a couple of friends in here, which is good. Even though Tandy and Snow White are quite low ranked. They always have been really, wherever they've been. And Tandy was an orphan from 2005 as well. And she's doing really well. So down at Jinx Integrations we've got Millie in with Jinx. They're both eating off the ground together, which is always a good sign. And it's in Jinx's best interest to, you know, be okay with the females and not show aggression, because it's really the only way he's going to become a member of the group. And of course, if he wants to mate with them in the mating season, then he has to be a little bit friendly first too. So he has to be careful, looking out for the males. He doesn't want to step on anybody's toes as such with the boys, because otherwise that could lead him into even greater trouble when he goes out into the troop. The males can be very aggressive at times, especially during mating season. So for Jinx we've waited till after mating season before he can go out into the troop, which means hopefully there'll be less aggression, but he has had introductions with the females throughout mating season, which means that the females are better accepting of him, and hopefully soon, it won't be too long before he can be tried out into the Halton Barrington enclosure. I just want to also take this opportunity to thank the Halton Barrington family who sponsored the enclosure, as well as the Crush Cage fundraising challenge, where some staff and volunteers shut themselves in crush cages for, I believe it was 24 hours. And that was in order to raise funds for this beautiful enclosure, so that the monkeys in the skunky intro cages could actually have somewhere to go in a much larger area. So thank you all who contributed towards that. Hocus is grooming Jinx down at the HMB enclosure, which is really good because up until now he's been avoiding the females because of how the males behave outside. But this is a really good sign that he can actually get some grooming and the males aren't keeping near the door area telling him off, which is good. So they're not doing that. He's having a nice groom. Hocus is doing a good job, not missing any parts. He's done his face, his back, his arms, and now his head and neck. Lucky boy.
Well, he certainly is getting spoilt. You can see him here, he'll take on a dominant stance and start looking into the enclosure, and you'll see the slight eye movement as he sort of challenges some of the other monkeys in the enclosure to say, hey, look, I'm really getting spoilt. I'm top of the bunch at the moment.
So you can see Jinx is making a series of grunts and also lip smacking submissively to Yoshi, who's been watching him from outside. So you can see Yoshi moves nearer. And Jinx's vocalizations get faster. He's also looking around. It makes him a bit nervous that Yoshi's in the area. He doesn't want any problems. So he's lip smacking frantically. And then self-grooming as well. Okay, so as you saw there was a lot of tension. So we're just trying 3 females in with Jinx. They're all the alpha group. So, as you could see, 2 of the females started eyebrowing Jinx, and he stood his ground and raised his eyebrows back. And then Millie also got involved. And then Jinx went to the fence line and also saw one of the males there, and he showed some aggressive behaviour towards him. And then after that, then they all eyebrowed Rocky the dog, which is good because then they all were kind of a troop together, warning Rocky the dog off. So now they're all calm again. So it didn't last for very long, but this is what can happen during an integration, especially when you increase the number of females and they're all the part of the alpha group as well. So we got the 3 alphas here all together, the alpha group. As you can see, it's settled down and they're all eating okay. So we've got Hocus on the right, she's the mum. Then you've got Millie in the middle, and then Luxie, who's the youngest daughter, on the left. They're the alpha family. And then Jinx, of course, in the middle. They're all eating seeds off the ground. There's Debbie, one of our South African voluntary staff. So we put the seed pods in a bucket for them for Jinx afterwards when all the females have gone out, because they've got enough food in their cage. Thanks, Debbie. Millie's just come in with Jinx. She's part of the alpha group and she's giving him a nice groom. He's lifting his tail up so that She can continue grooming all areas, and they turn around and present different body parts to be groomed. So she's making sure she does his face, behind his ears, his neck, moving down to his shoulders. And grooming's not just about hygiene, it's also it helps with social bonding and relationship building. Can also help to calm down any conflict. Millie's still grooming Jinx. Now she's grooming his back. So she's lip smacking at the same time. He's definitely having a good day today. Then he turns around so she can do the other side. They groom all areas of the body. Look at that beautiful boy. It's like getting a free massage. So these are some of the displays that the males do towards each other. Posturing and grunting. Counts by the door. Counts one of our older males integrated into the troop. See, we've got Percy in at the moment. She's part of Priscilla's family, who's lower ranked than Hocus's family. Jinx usually doesn't have much interaction with the low rankers. He sticks with the alphas, which makes sense. And so Count's by the gate. Jinx and Count had a bit of a scuffle. And now Jinx has moved up onto his viewing perch. So Lucas has just bought Jinx and Percy AM plates. Every morning they get a plate of chopped food. It should last them the day until their main feed in the afternoon. So we're just watching for interactions to see if they're fine eating together. You can see Jinx is taking food off Percy's plate. Percy is one of the low-ranked family, so yeah, so he definitely gets away with that. And also, one male on one female is usually dominant, but two females can chase a male away, and she's all in by herself at the moment. So he seems to be fine with eating with everybody. We now just have to see what he does with the males when he goes outside. Quite often there is a chase, so we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully no injuries, but it can happen. And Percy's taken her food up the top to eat by herself. Today they got a selection of, looks like spinach, beetroot and carrots. On monitoring days they get some soaked sunflower seeds, and at main feed they get another selection of fruits and veggies. We try and give them more veggies than fruits in their diet, which is better for them. So they get the stuff that they might not choose later on first. A bit like kids. Give them what they don't like first, and then later on have the goodies and the sweet things. But to be fair, they're pretty good. The monkeys do enjoy their greens and spinach because that's much more natural, giving them green foods, because they eat a lot of vegetation in the wild. It's really important to give them their green food. Lots of chlorophyll in it. There we go, that's his breakfast.
Thank you everyone for watching. There will be another episode on Jinx as we see his progress into the integration and his interaction with the troop and what it actually takes to get a big male vervet monkey integrated into a troop. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for our sponsorship, people donating, those clicking on the ads. We do appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the help. You've made it possible for us to survive and keep on going. We do appreciate it. Thank you.